Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. For today's video, I'm coming to you with a book review. It's my first ever attempt at doing a book review, but I recently listened to Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty, and I'll just tell you right off the bat, I really enjoyed this book, and I thought it would be a good one to review. So I actually listened to this one as an audiobook, so that's why I don't have a physical copy of the book, but this is what the book looks like. So this book came out this summer. It did come out this year. I believe it came out this summer. This is the author who wrote The Husband's Secret, which I think came out last year or 2 years ago, and it was like a #1 bestseller. This author has also written, I think, 6 books in total, but I've only, I listened to both of these on audiobooks, but yeah, I've only listened to these 2 books, but I definitely want to read the rest of the books by this author. So I listened to it on an audiobook. I actually, Googled, Audible, coupons. I know a lot of YouTubers have you can get a free month of Audible, but I've already been an Audible member, so that's only good for if you're a new member. So I just Googled, I don't know, I found something that was 3 months at a pretty inexpensive price. So I always recommend doing that, especially for online shops. Always try to Google coupons just to see if you can stumble across something. So I got 3 months worth of Audible, and you get 1 credit a month. So in the summertime, I had listened to The Husband's Secret. I really, really liked that. And then recently I listened to Big Little Lies. So Big Little Lies, I'll first address kind of the audiobook experience of the book, and then I'll talk about the book itself. So I really love listening to both of the books as an audiobook. I really enjoy that sometimes, especially if I'm going to be driving. It's really great to do in a car versus listening to music. I feel like it passes the time a little faster and makes it a little more bearable to take longer road trips. I'd listen to it when I would go to work. So I don't know. I feel like I can't always be listening to an audiobook. I do like reading physical books most of the time, but it's nice to have some audiobooks for some of the time for certain situations. And this book in particular, both of them actually, were read by the same narrator, Caroline Lee, and she's actually narrated, there's versions of all of Liane Moriarty's books narrated by Caroline Lee. And I really, really love this narrator. I think that's really important with an audiobook, to like the narrator, because it's a long amount of time to listen to an audiobook. I think Big Little Lies was 16 hours long, and if you don't like the narrator, if their voice annoys you, if there's just something you don't like about them, or I guess their voice, because that's all that you are hearing, it's not going to be as pleasant as an experience. So on Audible, I'll always listen to samples of audiobooks just to make sure that I would be able to listen to the person's voice. But I really loved this particular narrator, and it makes me want to listen to all of Liane Moriarty's other books as audiobooks, just so I can listen to this narrator more. Liane Moriarty is an Australian author. I think this added to me really liking the narrator. So the narrator is also Australian, and there's just something fun about listening to books or people with accents different than my own. I don't know. I just find it's a little more interesting. So I really enjoyed listening to this as an audiobook. So first, I would definitely recommend it as an audiobook if you're looking for an audiobook to listen to. I think this is a good one. But yeah, I definitely like that aspect of it. So getting to the book itself, if you're not interested in audiobooks, or you just want to know, what's the book about? Did I like the actual book itself? So the book focused on 3 main characters, and it took place in a small, Australian town by the sea. So the 3 main characters are Madeline, who is 40, and she has a daughter, Chloe, who's going into kindergarten. Then there's Celeste, who's married to Perry, and she has 2 twin boys, Josh and Max, who are also going into kindergarten. And then there's Jane, who's new to the town, She's around 24, 25, and she has a son, Ziggy, who's also going into kindergarten. So the women all kind of bond through having children the same age. They're all in the same class, at the same school. So they all kind of bond, and the book definitely focuses on all the different characters. It's told in third person, but different like chapters will be focused on the different women. So I really enjoy books like that focus on different characters. I think it gives so much more dimension to the story than just focusing on one character. I just think books like that are really interesting, so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. But the book is about, so it starts off with something horrible has happened at the trivia night. It's the school's trivia night. Something horrible has happened. You're not really sure what it is. And at the beginning of not every chapter, but most of the chapters, there's quotes from different people from the town, people from the school, and it's quotes from after the trivia night. So you kind of get little hints along the way of what kind of happened at this trivia night, but the book starts like 6 months before the trivia night and then kind of works its way up to the actual trivia night. So you get little hints around the way, plus you're finding up all the events happening leading to this trivia night. So it has a little bit of mystery. It's not necessarily a mystery book, but you kind of get like little clues of what possibly could happen. So I definitely thought that kept my interest, and especially as the book moved closer and closer to the trivia night, it's one that you want to keep listening to see what's going to happen. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it, and it was also interesting to see how the women, how their lives all intersected. That was very interesting. I really love books about females and like their friendships and relationships. So I really enjoyed this book. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away because it's better to not really know like much about this book, I guess. You don't really want to ruin any of the like shocking moments. But I definitely would recommend this book. Definitely if you like books, kind of a like female type of fiction, and if you like stuff that's a little bit, you want to find out what happens, if you like those sorts of books, this one definitely kept my attention and kept me entertained. It's definitely a drama, but it did have some funny moments. So yeah, I definitely would recommend this book, and that is my review. If you guys have read or listened to this book, you can definitely let me know your thoughts below, or if you've read any other books by this author. I've only listened to The Husband's Secret. That's the only other one I've listened to or read by this author. So if you have read any of her other books, please let me know. Or if you have any book recommendations for me, I definitely would appreciate those as well. So that is everything, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.